Market conditions shifting back to mildly bullish in this bull market. Seen some pretty impressive strength right here the last couple of days. We've seen sharp moves off the bottom here, momentum moving back up into this hold range, and also seeing breadth indicator continue to improve, as well as sentiment is already back up to that extreme range, and that didn't last long down there in some of those lower levels. So we're definitely seeing some confidence at these levels. We're continuing to see buy-sell ratio with a little bit of weakness right here, 0.44. But working its way back together again. The risk that we want to continue to keep an eye on is the resistance level that the S&P 500 could be running into here, right around these levels. Doing well so far here, this 537 area, and bouncing back up into this next zone right here. And if we can hold this 537 level, and that area now becomes a support range, we can notch back up into this zone and start that overall uptrend, or continue this overall uptrend. What we want to watch here in the next few days is to see if we get any kind of rejection and kind of gap open, and then start to move back down into these areas as well. But we are continuing to see slight improvement here in this overall trend pattern. And let's take a look at, we're seeing volatility in VIX just fall completely back down as fast as it rose right here. So you're definitely seeing some buying interest coming back into the market now. If we take a look at NASDAQ, we're seeing some strength here as well, pulling back up into that 50% location here. 50% of this entire uptrend, this retracement now is back into this zone, has now worked its way back up into this area. So we'll be watching for some of that backing and filling now. And as far as support areas holding up, we want to see that for leading into the next few weeks. See if we can get an uptrend here going into the winter season. That typically is a little bit better. A little bit early to say that, obviously, but August typically is pretty volatile, and seeing some improvement right here. That obviously can end quickly as well. But we've got sectors that are also improving. We've got a couple notching back up to that buy zone, as well as from the sell back into the hold. So a constructive day yesterday. Commodities also seeing gold continuing to show some support. Watch gold on these resistance areas. We talked about that yesterday. There were quite a few stocks going into new buy signals, gold stocks yesterday, and that could potentially also be looking for breakouts. And silver, nothing really of note right there on silver. And USO had a big day a couple of days ago, and pulling back right now at that resistance area 76. Let's take a quick look at muscle stock groups. Got SLNO, which is on the 1 year time frame. You can see this has really been a high flyer, had a real big gap up, nice uptrend, but the last 5-6 months have just really been consolidating here. But nice move yesterday. That 6-month chart looks a little bit choppy, but that 1 year time frame looks a little bit better in terms of that pattern, that structure, that tight base inside of the momentum zone. Let's take a look at a couple of others. Carvana is back in the scan again. Solid, good looking confirmation bar right here, 10% yesterday, and we're seeing increasing volume there as well. Right inside the momentum zone, solid confirmation bar. That's a great location to be able to set up a potential trade. In terms of money management, you want to be able to take a look at your portfolio and say, what's my position size? How many shares can I add into that based on my portfolio size? And then look at that percentage. Am I going with 1%, 2%? 100 shares here is obviously a little bit high, but if I went down to not even 50, if we go down to 20 shares, that's 2.8%. 15 shares here is 2%. So right around 2%, if you were to allocate 2% towards this trade and set a stop loss at these lows right below that 236 area, call that 128.50, and let's take a look what that would look like here. 128.50 puts us at 0.26. So you've got an acceptable level of risk under that 0.3 level. That's one of the ways to look at your quick money management for a stock trade that you'd be setting up. That's going to do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.